This is Derrick Bros with the Conscious Resistance Network. Today I want to talk with you guys about a story that has been completely ignored by the deadstream corporate media. The fact that we actually have somebody in the government, in the federal government, that cares enough to try to bring some truth to the situation regarding Syria, regarding propaganda about moderate rebels, and who the U.S. is funding, really. You know, many Americans are aware that the U.S. has had a hand in financing groups that led to ISIS, and that the groups that are accused of being moderate have actually done some horrible, horrible things. And these are the people that have been proven time and time again that the U.S. is funding, sending them money. Under the Obama administration, Hillary Clinton supported this, and it seems that we're going to expect to see more of this under the Trump administration. But we actually had Representative Tulsi Gabbard from Hawaii go to Syria on a secret mission to find out what she could. And you have to see what she said. It's amazing. So let's check this out and see what she found when she went to Syria herself. Not relying on people blogging about it or people who support Al-Qaeda going into Syria and saying, oh, we're seeing thousands fleeing, but actually seeing with her own eyes what's taking place. So let's check out what she saw. So right here you can see Tulsi Gabbard writes for Medium.com, says she's a soldier, veteran, surfer, member of Congress, doing my best to be of service. She titled this, "The Syrian People Desperately Want Peace." As much of Washington prepared for the inauguration of President Donald Trump, I spent last week on a fact-finding mission in Syria and Lebanon to see and directly hear from the Syrian people. Their lives have been consumed by a horrific war that has killed hundreds of thousands of Syrians and forced millions to flee their homeland in search of peace. And she says, it is now clear more than ever, this regime change war does not serve America's interests, and it certainly isn't in the interest of the American people. Now she details traveling through Damascus, Aleppo, listening to Syrian people from around the country, meeting people displaced from the eastern part of Aleppo and the outskirts of Damascus. She met with Syrian opposition leaders who led protests in 2011, widows, children, men fighting for the government, widows of those fighting against the government. She met Lebanon's newly elected president and prime minister, U.S. ambassador to Lebanon, Elizabeth Richards, Syrian President Assad, Archbishop, tons of other people, Muslim, Christian leaders, humanitarian workers, academics, college students, small business owners, and more. Their message to the American people was powerful and consistent. There is no difference between moderate rebels and Al-Qaeda, Al-Nusra, or ISIS. They are all the same. This is a war between terrorists under the command of groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda and Syrian government. They cry out for the U.S. and other countries to stop supporting those who are destroying Syria and her people. And she also appeared on TV on Fox discussing this, saying time and time again, people kept asking, who are these moderate rebels you're talking about? Where are these moderate rebels? She also introduced a bill recently, the Stop Arming Terrorists Act. She says we must stop directly and indirectly supporting terrorists, directly by providing weapons, training, and logistical support to rebel groups affiliated with Al-Qaeda and ISIS, and indirectly through Saudi Arabia, the Gulf states, and Turkey, who in turn support these terrorist groups. We must end our war to overthrow the Syrian government and focus our attention on defeating Al-Qaeda and ISIS. Now, you'll notice that Saudi Arabia is one of the nations that was not included in President Trump's ban on terrorist nations for some reason. And this is from Tulsi Gabbard. It's been shared quite a bit and viewed. You can see that. I'll post that in the link. And just check this story out. According to the BBC, her visit to Syria and speaking with Assad has sparked outcry. Revelation by a U.S. Democratic congresswoman that she met with Syrian Bashar al-Assad has drawn criticism from lawmakers. So now people are attacking her. They're going to say it's because she went and talked with Assad, but in reality, they're going to be attacking her because she's calling out the U.S.'s bullshit. Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger called it a shame and a disgrace. In no way should any member of Congress, should any government official ever travel to meet with a guy that has killed 500,000 people and 50,000 children. Where the hell are they getting these numbers from? The trip left experts wondering if Ms. Gabbard, a representative from Hawaii, had violated legislation prohibiting unauthorized individuals from speaking to governments in dispute with the U.S. The U.S. has accused Syria, of course, of deliberately targeting citizens. Nancy Pelosi said, I have no knowledge of this trip. She hasn't reported or brought anything to our office as far as I know. In an interview with CNN last Thursday, Ms. Gabbard said that she had not initially planned to meet with Mr. Assad during her visit. When the opportunity arose to meet with him, I did so because I felt it is important that if we profess to truly care about the Syrian people, about their suffering, then we've got to be able to meet with anyone that we need to if there's a possibility that we could achieve peace. After her week-long visit, she submitted the Stop Arming Terrorists bill, and so she released this statement now. And now here we go. So what does that mean for us? What does that mean for the new President Trump and his decision to say we need to go fight ISIS, fight fire with fire, but make no mention of the fact that the U.S. is funding these people? He mentioned it as a candidate, but now already 1 week in, he seems to be quiet on mentioning the fact that the U.S. is funding terrorism and funding ISIS. Instead, he's joining the neocon line that we need to go after them and fight fire with fire. Thank you to Tulsi Gabbard for the work you're doing, for choosing to speak out truth and help the Syrian and the American people. Hopefully people on the left and right will listen. Thank you for your work. Thank you guys for listening. Please subscribe to our Facebook page and our YouTube channel, Conscious Resistance Network. You can find me on patreon.com/Derrick Bros. Thank you for your support. As always, remember, you are powerful, you are beautiful, you are free. Peace.